Tammy, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel, From Gratitude to Greatness. Happy Father's Day to all of you fathers out there. I just got back from spending a little time with my father. He lives about an hour and a half away in a retirement home. And my sister and I took him out to a drive-in for hamburgers because he has a walker and he has a little bit of a hard time getting in and out of a car. It just wears him out. So we took him on a drive out in the country and stopped at a drive-in for hamburgers, and he enjoyed that, getting out a little bit. Unfortunately, yeah, he just can't get around so much anymore. But I'd like to just wish you all a happy Father's Day. So I have a few men in my life that I really am grateful for and appreciate. One, of course, is my dad, my husband, who is a stepfather to my two sons. And then I have my older son. He's a father. He became a father last year. So he's new to this, and I'd like to wish him a happy Father's Day. I do have another son who is not yet a father, but he's a great uncle, and he loves his niece so much. So a shout out to them on this Father's Day. Anyway, I'd like to give another shout out to all the military men who are away from their families during this Father's Day and wish them a happy Father's Day. I know that their families, their children, their wives are missing them and wishing they could give them a big hug on this special day. But I know they really appreciate and are grateful for all you do for them and for your country, as I am. So happy Father's Day to all of you. There are also so many other men that are great role models and volunteer to be with other children and just, tutor them maybe, have a good day with them, help their friends out with their children. And, they're like fathers in some ways. So happy Father's Day to them. And then there are pet daddies. So my brother is a pet daddy. So happy Father's Day to all of you pet daddies out there. I know that your pet is just like your child. It's like a member of your family. I know that my pets are like members of my family. I love them so much, and they mean so much to me, along with my children. So happy Father's Day, pet daddies. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my dad. Growing up, my dad was in the Army when I was born. Shortly thereafter, he became a construction worker. He worked so hard, and at times in the winter, he drove a snowplow up at the Snoqualmie Pass in Washington. And then he drove, a big loader. It was a loader at a sand and gravel company before he retired. He worked long and hard. He just had great work ethic. He cared for his family. I have a brother and a sister. We always had food on the table. We always had clothes. We had a nice home. We had a nice piece of property with a large yard and pastures. We had a pond with ducks and geese. We had a shop where my dad and I hung out a lot of the time, where he worked on different projects. We had animals. He bought me a horse. I rode all over the town when I was young, growing up. Back then, the town I grew up in, you could ride around right downtown. Can't do that now, but anyway, it was a great time. We had sheep. At one time, we had pigs. That was a short time because they kept escaping. We had cows. I had a special cow named Annie that I loved. I'd sit on her, and we loved her so much. And then we had bulls that we would butcher at certain times of the year. But He taught me how to take care of the animals. I would feed them, take care of them, brush my horse, bathe my horse. But my dad taught me so much. You know, he taught me how to take care of the earth, the planet, just to care as I'm out in nature. So I really appreciate that about him. He taught me how to grow my own vegetables, and I didn't really like that at the time, but now I'm a great gardener, so I really am grateful for him for that. Um, he really taught me how to work hard. When I was young, gosh, one of my first jobs, gosh, I was in elementary school, and he would take me to this place where I would climb up a tree and I'd peel cascara bark off of it. And then we'd lie it on a tarp out in the sun and let it dry. And then we'd go sell it to a gentleman, and I'd get the money from that. And I think they made a laxative or something out of that. But anyway, that was my first job. I picked berries. He paid me to mow the grass on a riding lawnmower because our yard was so big. But, you know, he taught me great work ethic. So, um, you know, I'm fortunate because so many kids nowadays don't have the great work ethic that we did back then. I think that's, you know, the way it is nowadays. But anyway, he was and is still a great dad. He would take us up in the mountains backpacking and hiking or just out camping, and he learned to love the outdoors because of his father, who I did not know. He was a forest ranger for the Snoqualmie National Forest. Actually, he was the head forest ranger. So that's where my dad learned to love nature. So I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for that. He taught me how to ski when I was, gosh, 3 or 4. And then when I was old enough, he took me up and got me a job at a ski area where he worked when he was young. And then he got a free ski pass, or not free, a free season's pass, but he would get free ski tickets, and we'd go skiing, and I'd work up there on the weekends, on my days off from school, and then I'd work there throughout the winter as I, you know, got to high school, and eventually I would work up there a little bit more often, ski for free. So it was great. He took me and got me, well, he didn't get me a job. I got another job at a truck stop restaurant that lots of kids worked at when I was young. So I got tips. But he really taught me the great work ethic, and he taught me how to have fun. Um, he was a great childhood dad. And he's a great dad now. It's just he just doesn't get around as well as he did back then. But I am so grateful for my young years growing up with a wonderful dad. He's so wonderful. I love him so much. During my adult years, my parents bought a boat, and we would go out boating and go clamming and get a lot of crab, and we just had a great time on our boat. We go out in the San Juans and out of Birch Bay, and you know, it was such a great time hanging out with him and my mom. I miss my mom. Oh, I forgot something else that I wanted to mention about my dad. Um, During one time when I was probably seventh or eighth grade, my dad had a construction job building a bridge near our home, but he was working a strange shift for him. It was like 2 to 10 or 2 to 12 or something like that at night. And so he wasn't around at dinner time, and I missed him so much. I would go every day after school riding my bike down to the river where he was doing his construction work, building the bridge, and just wave to him when he was driving his loader and watch him work. Um, I enjoyed doing that, and that was the way I spent a little time when he wasn't home. Now, my older son, Max, he's the one that just had the baby last year. I didn't know what a wonderful father he would be, but I guess I raised him right, along with help, with some help. But he's the best father to his daughter. He just carts her around in a little tummy. What are they called? Tummy packs or something. Carries her around the kitchen when he's cooking or doing whatever. He gets up with her in the night, he changes diapers, he feeds her, he plays with her. He just enjoys her so much and is such a wonderful dad. I just I just am so proud of him. And I look forward to watching him just watch his child grow up and spend time with her. They're going to go to swimming lessons soon, and I think he's like sad when he goes to work because he has to leave her, because he just wants to be with her all the time. He's looking forward to teaching her how to fish because he loves to go fishing on the weekends, just out by the river or a lake. He wants to teach her about the outdoors. He wants to take her camping. He's such a wonderful dad, and I am so proud of him. Then I have my other son, Giovanni, who is not yet a dad, but he is a great uncle. I'm proud of him. And one day he'll be a great father as well. So happy Father's Day, Maximiliano. Happy Uncle's Day, Giovanni. I'm so proud of both of you, and I enjoy spending time with both of you and your wife as well, Max. I love you. Now I'm going to mention my two grandfathers. The first one I did not know, my paternal grandfather. Like I said, he was head of the Forest Service for Snoqualmie National Forest. And I always see pictures of him. Um, he looked like a very kind soul. And I'm so sorry that I didn't get to know him, unfortunately. But anyway, I love him up in heaven. And my other grandfather has also passed away quite some time ago when I was young. But he took me along with my grandmother, traveling around in a mini motorhome. He took me to all the state parks, not all the state parks, but many. We went to Bryce Canyon, Zion, and Grand Canyon, and then some others. And it was a great experience traveling around with my grandparents for one summer. And then they lived in Southern California later after that, and I would go spend several weeks with them each year. But my grandpa, he had a great sense of humor. He was always laughing, and he had a nickname for me called Tammykins. I always thought that was so funny. I'll never forget that nickname. I don't know where he came up with that, but I always liked it. And he had this thing. It was like a scooter, and they called it a Thule Trooper, which is really really funny. But he would take me around the yard. We'd go riding on his Thule Trooper, and I have great memories of hanging out with my grandparents. They would come up to Washington and visit us, and they'd spend the summer and then go back traveling around or go down south in the winter time. And I would miss them so much when they left. So happy Father's Day to my two grandfathers. I know they're around me. They're in heaven. They're around me in another dimension, maybe. So I'm just so happy today and so grateful. And a shout out to my husband Tom. Tom is a stepfather to my two sons, and he is the best stepfather. He came into our lives when I was a single mom, and he just began loving them like right off the bat. Became a great stepfather. He loves them like they're his own children, and he treats them like they're his own. So I'm so grateful for Tom. I'm grateful that Tom came along at that time in my life. It really helped me out a lot, being a single mom, working 2 jobs. And my older son would take care of the younger one while I was working in the evening. During the day, the younger one went to daycare. But um, Tom he's great. He's like a big child himself. That's probably what makes him a great stepdad, especially when they were young. He would take my younger son, Giovanni, to water parks. He would take them to the beach. He would take them rock wall climbing. And he has a daughter also, named Nicole. And he was just a great dad. He would make sure that he would spend time with them on the weekends and take them somewhere special. We would go camping at times. And then he was there to guide my older son. He provided for them like a father should, He put food on our table. I mean, of course, I worked as well, but he bought them the things they needed. Plus, he bought them more. He like overdid it, actually. He bought each of them a car. And he just is a great man. He's a great husband, and I wish him a happy Father's Day. He's so creative and talented. He is a jeweler by trade, so of course he's creative with making jewelry, and he is creative making things with wood. His father, in his spare time, would build just furniture. He was a stockbroker by trade, but when he came home from work, he made all kinds of beautiful, beautiful furniture. And Tom learned from his father how to make furniture. He makes like wood shelves, whatever, out of wood. And he's very creative in that way. And I'm so grateful for that. It really helps around the house. Right now, he is remodeling pretty much most of our home. So I'm going to have a brand new large kitchen, a very special kitchen that he's just almost finishing up. So I look forward to that because I'm a cook by trade, kind of a chef. But anyway, so I look forward to cooking in my gourmet kitchen, and he's redoing the downstairs, and he's just very talented, and I am grateful for him. He's just wonderful. So happy Father's Day, honey. If you have anything that you'd like to mention about your father, your husband, your grandfather, uncles, a man in your life, go ahead and write it in the comments. I'd be really, really interested to read it. So I'd appreciate if someone could do that. Anyway, I'm not getting too many comments, but I just started with this YouTube thing. So I'm new at it. That's why I kind of flub up a little bit, but you got to laugh at yourself. Anyway, so write it in the comments, and please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be talking about different things at different times. So I haven't got a set schedule yet. My life is pretty hectic at the moment, but maybe in another month I'll have a regular schedule to post my videos. But I'm always interested to hear from you. So I'd really be greatly grateful for that. Anyway, you guys have a good night, and thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. Okay? Have a good night. Thanks. Or good morning.